Yo, what's going on, guys? And finally, the long-awaited video. We're starting on the Genesis. Today we're gonna start with the bags. I don't have all the parts. I'm still waiting on fittings and airline to come in from bag riders, but I have all the struts and everything else. So we're gonna start getting this car in the air, putting on the struts, and this weekend we're gonna finalize like the trunk setup as long as everything comes in time. But I'm gonna be happy just to have this car in air. Before we start the video, I also want to say a huge thank you to Brett and Kyle for allowing me to barge in on their shop and use some of their space to build this car. Because I don't really have much room at home with the Cruze always being parked in the garage so the tint doesn't fade. But Gatlinburg, 2 months away, and supposed to be taking this car, and it still looks like this. So we gotta get started on this.
Solely on the beat, wait.
It's been a couple days since I last been here, but a little update. We got all the suspension out, so we're ready to throw in the bags. Real quick though, if yours are also bagging yours, I'll tell you how you take everything out. For the front, you literally just have these two bolts. There's like a screw here. You gotta take the end link out, and then you got the 3 bolts on the top for the top hat, and then the front comes out. It's pretty easy, very simple. The rear was a little weird. We had to drop the sway bar. We took out the 2 bolts under there. We got the spring out. I think that's all we took apart, and we just kind of pried the spring out of there. Easiest way to do it. I don't know how it doesn't drop any further, but it gives enough slack where it's not gonna fly out when you get it out of there. And then we got the 2 compressors, black, the manifold, the wiring harness, some airline, but I'm not using it. That's from the dude I bought it from. Air tank, I think it's a 5-gallon tank, I would assume, something like that. But I bought all new air tank, new check valves, new airline, I think I said that. I had to buy a replacement rear bag. I bought new pillow ball bushing. So I just kind of rebuilt what I could just to make sure that it's all ready to go and I'm not gonna have any issues. So we have the front bags bolted up. Well, not bolted, that's not bolted, but the top's bolted, they're in, they're ready. Leader line, I haven't figured out how I wanna mount this yet, because if I'm riding low, I really don't want it going across here. I wanna keep it down low and wrap back around. So I don't know where I'm running that at yet, but next thing I need to do is run the harness, the wiring harness for the car, and the battery's on the passenger side, so you're gonna wanna run it along this, underneath all this trim, and the back seat's gonna have to come out so we can run it straight to the trunk. But we gotta take this trim piece off, this trim piece partially off, and the back seat, and then we could slither it right between all that and hide it. So this all just pops right out. You can just pull straight up on it. Why is there so many screws in the trunk? These were all just down there. But since last time I've updated you guys, I took out the back seats and everything. The controller wire harness, the controller wire, the fuse wire, have it all ran down through here underneath the seats. And then the other harness, it's ran over here. This is the power and ground. I have it ran under there, through there, back around. I have it coming out through that hole and then up through this hole, which I'm gonna drill out the grommets and actually just shove the wires through them, but I'm not to that point yet. And it comes out right here, so I can wire that up. But that's as far as I got so far. And then the rest of the harness is all back here for the compressors and the manifold. So we finally got the rear bags all set up. Got the bracket down at the bottom. They're all set and ready. It's time to run airline. The management, I don't know where exactly I'm gonna mount it. I might mount it down here or behind the wall right there. But either way, we gotta get the lines ran to the back. And we're just gonna do it the same way that the harness is and just run it right through all this, and it's all gonna run together to the back. So we have both compressors mounted. Ended up getting all the lines ran. There's just a bunch of little grommets all throughout the car, and we just kind of poked holes through in the front too. Come under the back seat back here. But all that we really have to do is make all the connections, wire in some fuses, get the tank actually mounted and the lines from the compressors ran to them. Really nothing much. All you're gonna see is the tank in the end. Cause I'm gonna have the compressor harnesses or the compressor airlines is gonna come up from up there and just meet in the back. You probably won't ever know they're there, but we're almost there. Interrupting this video because we gotta help the broke down dirt nasty low boy.
This fucking guy. Big YouTube guy over here.
He was gonna drive it home, but he blew a power steering line. He thought he blew his oil pan. There is music in the background, don't copyright me. But yeah, we figured since we had a trailer, it'd be easier just for him to load it on. Brett's saving the day. So it's been a little while since I last updated you guys. I don't even remember what the last clip was. It's been so long. But we're waiting on parts. I had to buy a new water trap and some spacers so I can run my stock wheels. Not those. Those are reps. I'm just kidding. I don't care. They're my buddy's old ones. But no, I'm going to throw the stock wheels back on here. I might put the ESRs on just to see how they look. But I had to buy spacers because they don't clear the bag. But what I'm going to do right now is I have to adjust the collars and get this to the height that I want it on both sides. So then if I make any adjustments, I make the same adjustments on both sides. You don't want one side to be lower than the other or vice versa, you know what I mean? But pretty much we're coming down to the end of bagging the car. Like, I gotta put the interior back together for the most part, but everything's ran. There's really not much else to do besides actually mount the tank. I'm gonna mount it into the foam piece that comes stock on the Genesis. We'll see how it goes. I might end up having to put a piece of wood back there, but for the time being, it'll be fine. I just want to drive the car because I hate not driving this thing. But after this, probably the next video is going to be us cutting this up. But don't leave yet. We're not done with the video just yet. We're going to get this thing on the ground. Hopefully today, maybe tomorrow. I don't know, but either way, it'll be on the ground tomorrow unless we have some other mishaps. So we finally got it on the ground. Trunk setup's not 100% perfect, but I like how you can only see the tank. There's still a bunch of airlines I gotta trim up and get fitted properly. But it's on the ground, fitment's whack. It's on some Brett's old ESRs because he got 3-piece temporarily. But it's movable, so we're gonna take it out and see if I screwed anything up or not. This thing looks even better than I imagined. It's tucking the 18s in the front. The rear is not really tucking because I think I need more camber to actually be tucking in the rear on 18s. But for just kind of being a mock setup and temporary wheels, it actually looks pretty sick. Minus the hole in the bumper. It'll be fixed. Okay, what do you guys rate the reps?
It looks like shit.
I thought they were blitzers.
They are. Hey, they're Blitz 03 straight from Japan. You just gotta cover this.
Yeah,
they're Blitz.
Yeah, just like
they're
Blitz.
they're
And
Blitz.
just like don't. Just
The real wheels are over there. It still rubs, unfortunately, on the front. So we can't actually drive the car. It's like barely rubbing on the bag, which is unfortunate, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Other than that, the rear's fine. It literally just like barely rubs on the front where I can't drive it, so I might change up spacers. I just bought new spacers even to fit these because I bought fat ones to fit them and they still weren't enough, so I had to put an 8 mil, and it still obviously is not enough, which sucks. But there's so many bugs in here. But tomorrow I might bring another inch or something and slap it on just so I could drive it. And here's a little snippet of the wide body. We're just kind of testing out to see what it looks like. Dude, I can't wait to have the whole kit on. We'll be back tomorrow after I get off work. Stop back over after work to kind of try and align it so it's at least drivable. I got the best that I really could by eyeballing it. Trying to record the video outside, too windy. All you guys could hear was the wind. So, I'm in here, but I'm so happy with how this thing turned out. Honestly, like, I've always wanted a Genesis bagged and wide body, and we're about 33% there. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. The next video is probably gonna be us wide bodying this. We're actually gonna start it today once everyone gets off work. But I also wanna say a thank you to everyone that came over, helped me with the bags, because it wasn't just me. In the video it was just me, but honestly there's a few buddies behind the scenes that came over and helped, which I'm thankful for. But I couldn't be happier, dude. Like, even on these wheels that aren't like planned, I just borrowed Brett's. This car looks amazing. I'm really gonna miss this stock body, but I'll see you guys in the next video.